welcome to the channel that is explicably an experience. Welcome to the Steve Morgan Experience. I'm Steve Morgan, this is my channel, this is my experience, and this is... Wow, what a show, what a show, what a show. We will be doing a shout out for Evan Edinger. We will be doing a review of the film Ant-Man, Quantumania. We will do it one every week. We're doing Jasmine's food reviews. We've got Farmer Doomsday here. We've got lots of stuff. We've got a soapbox. We've got bad jokes. We've got it all. It's the news. Okay, so the news today is quite simple. I don't know if you've seen it, but Nicola Sturgeon, we all know that she resigned as the First Minister of Scotland. We now find out that it was because of her husband, Peter Marle, was sticking his hand in the till and doing a lot of dodgy financial things. And the police have been around their house and they cordoned everything off and they started digging in the garden. They started digging in the garden. Why? What are we going to find in the garden? Receipts. You don't bury receipts. You burn receipts. You shred receipts. You don't do that. So what are they actually looking for? That's a question you've got to ask. Because let's face it, they're not looking for receipts. There's something else going on, and it's quite interesting. And I think I've worked out exactly what is going on. Now, hold on, hear me out. I reckon they're looking for a dead body, and I reckon a person we haven't seen in a long time. Her ex-husband, Ian Cranky. Yeah, it's Ian Cranky. Little Jimmy Cranky has finally killed Ian Cranky and buried him in her garden. I reckon that's what's happened. Now, meanwhile, over the pond, President Trump, we all know he was up for Trump-up charges. His supporters said a lot of really interesting things, actually. They made a lot of sense. They said, the statute of limitations is up on this. They haven't really got a case. This is just trying to stop him from running for president. And they made a lot of sense until all of a sudden it was also brought up that he was under charges of sexual abuse as well. And then they all said, what about Bill Clinton? To me, is it just me? Or do any Americans and the Republicans of America, whatever you want to call them, when they say these things, don't you just kind of think, you sound like that annoying kid in the playground. But miss, she did it too. Shut the fuck up, you boss. You know what I mean? It's just like, what the fuck is that? There we go, that's American politics for you. Lots of name calling and shit stirring. They should do it like us. Lots of pretending we're not name calling and shit stirring, and pretending we're respectable while doing it behind everybody's back. That's the way of the future, people. Anyway, also in the news this week, now I know a lot of people get a little bit bored of me going on about trans people and stuff, but tough shit. The fact of the matter is, the government, in their wisdom, are trying to change the Equality Act, that's EA 2010, They're trying to change the Equality Act 2020. Now, what they're saying is, 2010, sorry, what they're saying is that the act which allows trans people to go into women's toilets is wrong, and there's a lot of reasons for the safety of children and women. Now, they've already proven without a doubt that there is no problem. There's a handful of cases with trans people. And then, okay, you see, you could say trans women and men and whatever, even though that's not true. You can say that all you like, but the fact of the matter is trans women, as a group of people, have not had that in the 13 years this act has happened, have not had that many cases. And to turn around and say there's a problem, and there quite clearly isn't, and to say they can't do what they've been doing for 13 years of their lives, some of them, you've got to think, some of them transitioned, 16, 17? No, that's right. They transitioned about 18. They can't transition at 16. Exactly. But you know what? They can the actual proper transition at 18 by law. So 18. Let's just say 18, right? Okay. So these people transition at 18. They're now 20. They're now in their 30s. They've had the majority, a lot of their life, just under half of their life. You know what I mean? And now they're being told you can't do what you've always done, because there's a fear that you might be a rapist. But they're not rapists. There's 13 years, thousands, hundreds of them, 13 years, not committed a crime. But because a few have, and mostly in other countries, that means, they've got to get rid of their right to go to the toilet they wish. And it doesn't matter what you think, if you think it's a right or not. The truth is, it's in the Equalities Act. It is a right, and they're trying to take that away. Now, you might all think, oh well, think about the women and children who are uncomfortable. To the people who say that, I say, they're taking your feelings! Which is, I don't believe that, but that's pretty much the argument everyone gets when we try, when you try to ask someone about that. But, no. The fact of the matter is, if you think about it honestly, this isn't about trans women. Trans women is a gateway drug. Because if you listen to the language, women's sex-based rights, women's biological rights, these are all being bandied about. And there's a reason for this. Because it's the same thing which happened in America, and it's going to happen now. They're not after trans, they're trying to change the rights so they can stop abortions, because they don't want abortions. Because, well, I think that much is obvious, because they're raping, they don't believe in abortions, and they're trying to stop human beings' choice. And they won't just stop there, it won't just be women's rights, trans women's rights, women's rights, it will be everybody's rights. So we've got to stop this now before it happens. Stop thinking, oh, it doesn't concern us, it's not a problem, or we don't agree with that right. It's still a right. They've still had it for 13 years. Fight it. That's just my opinion. Come on, people. Let's do this. Hey, one another, gotta stand by your brother. Gotta love one another right now. Ooh. Bye. I feel like busting loose with bad jokes.
I moved into a bungalow recently. I was going to move into a house, but that's another story.
Jasmine's food review.
Welcome back again to Jasmine's food review. We've got Japanese donut frozen, and we're going to now try it. That's awful.
Wally of the week. Hi, now it's time for the Wally of the week. Shit, is my hair? Fucking hell. Look at my hair. Ooh. Gotta have a shave. Get all that cut at the barbers. The Wally of the week. This week's Wally of the week started because of a thread about a guy called Ollie London. Now, a lot of you don't know who Ollie London is. Let me explain. They first identified as a trans person. Not sure if that's non-binary or trans woman or what. But I will use the word I'm going to use the pronouns them because I'm not too sure, and I will use the word trans person when referring to them to make it easier. But Ollie London also identified as a Korean, and he had surgery to make himself look more Korean. Just to explain, Ollie London is a trans influencer. I'm not suggesting that Ollie London did all these things to prove the point, but the fact he's now anti-trans makes me wonder if he's a little bit of... no, we can't prove that, so we won't say that. But here's the thing. I'm just going to address this very quickly. I'm so sorry. I will get on to the Wall every week, but I will address this very quickly. A lot of people will say, you can identify as a dog. You can identify as a fish. You can identify as whatever you want. What difference does him identifying as a black man and them identifying as a woman really make? A lot of difference. And I wished I could go into it right now. I could go into it and I could do a 2-hour video, but I can't do a 2-hour video because it's too long. So I will just quickly tell you that there is scientific difference. And it's not 100% about biology either. It's gender, which is a different thing. And it does exist. There is historical difference. There's historical evidence, there's scientific evidence, philosophical evidence, psychiatric evidence. There is so much evidence, and it has existed for years and years. The Inuits and the people from Tonga and many other indigenous people have had trans people in their communities for centuries. And that's an actual fact. Because IDing as a different gender is a psychological, philosophical, it is basically a societal thing, and it has been a societal thing. It has been recorded in patriarchal societies, matriarchal societies, indigenous societies, hundreds of societies. They have it. Race isn't a social thing because race is part of the social construct. So the race is the society. This is the society, and the society is of the race. It doesn't have levels of race in a society unless you have a society filled with people of a race. But therefore, they shouldn't have levels. You shouldn't have this is a black person, so he should be doing this. This is a Chinese person, so he should be doing this. Blah 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 blah. This is his role in society. No, they should all have whatever role they want. That doesn't necessarily always happen, but if they don't get the role, that is because they're being judged. I know women get judged as well. I'm not saying that isn't, but women still have roles in society. Black people should have roles in society regardless of their skin. Women take the matriarchal role. They take other roles, or feminine roles, and that's what all gender is. It's taking the role in society. Now, you might say, that's a stereotype, a gender stereotype. You're talking about stereotypes. You can have stereotypes without having to become transgender. A woman can become butchered. A woman can look like a man, and she doesn't have to be transgender. A man can be feminine and wear pink. He doesn't have to be transgender. Yes, that is stereotypes. But what you're actually saying there, what you don't get is, you're talking about the icing on the cake. The gender stereotype is here, it's the icing on the cake. Actual gender as this construct and the role in society. And as I said, to explain all this, it would take fucking hours. But let's just say it's the cake. It's the sultanas. It's the cream filling. It's the chocolate. I can go on and on and on because I love to talk about cake. Shall we just talk about carrot cake and lemon lime cake and all the other types of cake you can get? And sponduli cake. Try sponduli cake. Most amazing cake. It'll blow your mind. Everyone, Google sponduli cake. There's no such fucking thing, a bastard. Anyway, she's not coming in there, is she? No, she's not. Sorry about that. Where was I before I got rudely interrupted? Yes, we had 4 minutes and I said I wasn't going to go on for ages. Let's go on about the actual theme, shall we? Okay, this is all about what it actually is. It's Wally of the Week. Anyway, they were talking about Ollie London and somebody said, isn't it funny that these people got so, honestly, all the people who now defend him try to ignore his Korean past. They sort of it never happened. Were they not aware of it? And this person, who is called Shayla. Hello, Shayla. Yeah, she says, we were aware of it all along. It was funny watching you guys trying to explain why saying he's a woman is a must, but saying he was Korean is wrong. Sheila, got one up on us, yeah. Ooh. Anyway, someone pointed out that no one was really doing that. And she said, when he was still identifying as a Korean woman, there were many TRAs. Now, I've got to explain the word TRAs. That is TRA. It stands for Trans Radical Activists. So they're talking about many other political activists, the people who are pushing the trans rights, who are working towards trans rights. These people who are political activists or on lobbies, blah, 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 things like that. Many TRAs were condemning him as a Korean whilst defending him as a trans person. Well, she actually said trans woman there at one point, but okay. Well, I said that wasn't true, that the majority of activists I knew condemned him. I said it could be the sock accounts, because there are a lot of sock accounts, that's fake accounts on Twitter, that could be that. And she replied, Sheila, come on, Sheila, what did you reply? You replied, do you believe that you know all the TRAs, TRAs? She then went again saying they were activists who were saying this and that she had not sock accounts. So she said that. I'm going to leave it on the screen for a little while and take it off. Okay, so I thought, what the hell? Because she's saying, oh, do I know other TRAs? Well, no, not really. I don't know every trans activist in the world, but I know a hell of a lot of them. I follow them on Twitter. I know a lot about trans people because I am friends with trans people. I have two lovely trans daughters who I will give a shout out to. Crystal, Celestia. Anyway, all this interview... Oh, no, sorry. Go back to... Anyway, I got a bit annoyed. I said, show me some screenshots. Show me some proof of a person condemning him as a Korean but defending him as a trans woman or a trans person. And this is what she showed me. Yes, believe it or not, it's an interview of him on This Morning. What does that... So this was the point where I was thinking, what? And then, a little while later, she gave me this. All this interview did was make me uncomfortable. Please listen to trans people. Stop making us look like a joke. Well, you can read. I'm pausing so you can read the whole thing. Okay, so, basically, where did she condemn him as a trans person? Not at all. This is her screenshot. Didn't condemn him as a trans person. When I pointed out this, she didn't say anything about that. She didn't say anything about being trans. She said, oh, you wanted a proof of you guys defending trans people. Isn't that what you do? No, I wanted proof of trans activists, political activists, dissing him as a Korean and stating that we should still call him a trans person. That's what I wanted. Did I get it? No. So, let's have a look. So that's what I explained to her, and she went, oh, this is funny. So according to you, when Ollie London was identified as a trans person, which was before he identified as a Korean, I don't know that, I haven't got a clue. Your group denounced him and said it was okay to call him a him. That's not what I said. I didn't say that at all. I said that I wanted proof of a trans activist, a political trans activist, saying that he shouldn't be a Korean, but should be a trans person. That's the proof I wanted. Still trying to defend both, or trying to attack one thing and defend the other. That's what I wanted. That's the proof I wanted. And I've said that, and I was thinking, oh, this is going round in circles. We're not going to get proof. And all of a sudden, dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun. We got proof. Farron Gumbar, who says, I really don't want to repeat this, but I am all for shitting on early London because honestly, transracialism is bullshit and anyone who believes it can go fuck themselves. But don't fucking misgender him, you bastards. I was wrong, was I? I was wrong. This is a trans activist. This is a trans political activist. No, it's not. This is can you see that right at the bottom? 16. It's a 16-year-old child just saying things on Twitter, which it usually is. Usually when you get to the point of all these things which are happening in the world, you find out it was a 14 or 16-year-old child just stating a view without actually thinking about it, because that's what 16-year-olds do, because that is part of growing up. But no, sorry, getting a little angry, aren't I? No, I'm not, I promise. Anyway, oh God, this is mental. I then pointed this out, this was a child. I said, look, this is a 16-year-old child. All you've got is a 16-year-old child saying this. And she went, I gave multiple examples. Two. And one of them wasn't true because they never said what you said they do. Two. Yeah, fucking hell. She's attempted to say that I'm distracting her, I'm being a distraction and I should apologise. Oh, she called me sweetie because I called her sweetie. I call people sweetie all the time, sweetie. Darling, honey, baby, sweetie. But yeah, this goes on for a little while. I've got all the things, but basically she then tries to suggest that I'm moving the goalpost by saying I want political activists. She goes, you never said that in the beginning, which makes me think either she doesn't get what trans means or she's just trying to wiggle out of it. She might not understand what trans means. Trans means political activist, trans radical activist. So I'm kind of, should I give her Wally of the Week? Should I, Chris? Maybe it's a mistake, maybe it's a misunderstanding. Oh, fuck it. Wally of the Week! Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania Review. What to say about Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania? Well, the thing is, let's face it, I'm a massive Marvel fan, so as soon as a Marvel film comes on, 2 thumbs up straight away. It doesn't matter what it is. Some people say, oh, this one was bad, that one was bad. Marvel movies, all of them, get you lost in this crazy world, and that's just 2 thumbs up as far as I'm concerned, no matter what. But, one for getting lost in the crazy world, 2 for the special effects. Even if they're not brilliant, I still love these films. But, did Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania add up? Okay, I'm going to give the cons straight away. There's a character in the first 2 Ant-Man and the Wasp films who is absolutely brilliant and absolutely funny, and he stores every scene he's in. He is not in this film. And that kind of depressed me a little bit. But other than that, this is a really good film. It's got 2 really brilliant Marvel characters. One which has never been introduced to in the Marvel Cinematic Universe at all, who's called MODOK, who I didn't think they were going to pull off, because MODOK is just basically a giant floating head with tiny little arms and tiny little legs. And although he looks fun, he looks great in the comics because it's a great visual, I thought, will this work in the films? And it does. It's hilarious. MODOK steals every scene he's in. It's brilliant. We've also got the villain of Kang the Conqueror. Now, anyone who knows the comic books knows that Kang's story is very complicated. I feel a little bit they're just rushing it a little bit and pushing a lot of stuff, because the great thing about in the comic books is we didn't really understand Kang's story. We met a few villains and we didn't realise they were the same character. And then eventually it builds up as the same character, and it builds up that this man has existed for centuries, and basically exists in every time zone and knows every time zone. That was built up. This is like, well, we've got to introduce this character, so boom. We spoke about a bit, we explained a bit about him in the Loki TV series, and now we're just booming this, and which is good, it works in some ways, but I feel I feel with a lot of people in the Marvel Universe, they wanting the next big thing. So it's very hard to build up to. But I think we should have just, yes, carried with the build up and not just gone, right, this is the new villain. Yeah, I feel that if you hadn't let him know it was a very important villain, and maybe had told everybody we're just slowing down a bit, then I think the way Marvel would have been at the moment, I think people would have just said, okay, they're slowing down a bit, another big thing will come in about 3 or 4 years. And people would have been happy with that, but people are waiting for this big thing. So they're waiting for these stories and they're not delivering properly in my mind. I just feel that it's either taking too long or it's too rushed. They're not thinking about the people who don't know these stories and how to introduce this in the way that the comics did. You see what I mean? It's not exactly what I think is a brilliant idea. I think there are problems and there are flaws with this film. Don't get me wrong, special effects are amazing, story is good, Paul Rudd, as per usual, is brilliant, and the young actress, I don't know her name, who plays his daughter, awesome. I'm going to give this 3 thumbs up. Wayne Jayne super brain, isn't it, mate? Yeah. Hello. You thought I would never be back, don't you? It's me, Wayne Jayne, super brain, explaining it all so you don't have to. I know. You can't quite believe it. Now, people who don't remember Wayne Jayne, super brain, back in the old days when this channel was just my bloke putting on a load of nonsense and having a laugh, Wayne Jayne, super brain was the biggest thing on this channel. But it got deleted because he lost his nerve and it went all soppy shit and stuff. But now the new era's back, and guess who's back in town? It's me, Wayne Jayne, super brain. Now, a lot of people want to know about my thoughts, and last time I told you a little thing about women. If you remember, I said, and by that, a lot of people got confused. But at the same time, they thought, he's an intelligent man and he knows what he's talking about. And the truth is that women are wonderful. Now, a lot of people say, Wayne, you're a misogynist, aren't you? And I say, because the truth is, you might think I'm a misogynist. A lot of people might think I'm a misogynist. But the truth is, I love women. I just wish they'd shut the fuck up sometimes, you know? Sorry, just my own little humour. Now, a lot of people say, Wayne, the world is changing, isn't it? Yeah, it's becoming woke. And I've got to say to them, because, yeah, the world is always changing. And woke is just another word for politically correct. And before that, it was called wankness. You see, everybody is a bleeding heart. Everybody looks at the world and goes, oh, everything's so wrong. Truth is, right, all you need in the world to survive is a pie, a pasty, a good love of a good woman, and some fucking beer. Yeah, that's all you need. Everything else is bullshit. But Wayne, what about all the children starving in Africa? Oh, yeah, well, it's sad and everything, but I live in Africa, do I? I live here, and we've got to think about ourselves because selfish bullshit, cliche, and that's all that really matters. Because I'm Wayne Jayne, super brain, I'm going to explain it all, geezer. Yeah, you know it, my friend. It makes sense. Yeah, you know one thing, right? I'll be honest with you. I've been around the block. Now, a lot of people talk about Wayne Jayne, super brain, when he was in prison. Now, let me tell you about prison. Prison changes a man. I went into prison a vile scumbag. I went into prison, I could have killed people. I could have done a lot of drugs. I could have made people prostitutes. I could have done evil shit. Okay, I didn't pay for a TV licence, and that's why I went to prison, but that doesn't matter, because it changed me. I was a bad person and now I'm a bad person who's got a bit of a brain. So I'm joking. And oh, geezer. Yeah, anyway, I want to talk about the people who are written down statues. And yeah, they're written down statues because apparently one statue was of a slave owner. And I was saying, we can't forget our history. You rip him down, we'll never remember there were slave owners, and we'll never come up with the idea of slaves again. No, I'm joking. The thing is, we're losing everything. Our dignity, our humanity, and why? Because everybody out there is horrible. They're all and it drives me up a wall. I'm the only one who sees, and that is why I fight the culture war. And I do it by drinking my beer, I do it by shagging my missus, and I do it by the skin of my teeth, really. Because that's who I am. I'm Wayne Jayne, super brain. Have I said that yet? Anyway, don't worry guys, if you're thinking, Wayne, please don't leave us, because if you leave us, I mean, what will happen? We will never see you again. I don't know if I can handle that. And I'll say to you, I will be back soon. This is a new era. This is a new dawn. And we are the smoke. And do you know why we're the smoke? They might be revoked. Do you know why we're the smoke? Because we don't stop speaking, we never give it a rest. We got more rabbit than Sainsbury's, we gotta get it off our chest. Thank you very much, good night. Steve's Soapbox. One of the biggest worries I have is they will bring back the death penalty. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, no, of course they're not going to bring back the death penalty. But lots and lots of people, they listen to the working class people a lot. And the working class people think they're speaking their own truths, but they're really just listening to what other people say and repeating it, as I've said before in the past. So my worry is, when I never thought Brexit would happen. So I always worry about the next horrible thing that might happen. And one of the things I worry about really a lot is the fact they won't bring back the death penalty. Now, I know for a fact that a certain politician who is up in the fucking main power at the moment is absolutely there for the death penalty. And when spoken the most obvious thing about the death penalty, its biggest mistake, that she was like, oh well, that just happens, isn't it? Yes, you know what is the biggest mistake of the death penalty? That we as humans aren't fallible. We're infallible, we get things wrong. So, therefore, we could put to death an innocent person, and that has happened in the past. An innocent person's done absolutely no wrong, being put in the crime for himself, and he's going to be killed because it's the death penalty, folks. Yeah, guess what? You don't come back from that. And that's the most ridiculous thing. And also the excuses, the reasons people say, they go, but this eye for an eye bollocks. If it happened to you, you'd be angry too. I've been told that loads of times. I don't agree with the death penalty. But what if it was your family? What if it was your niece? What if it was your young Jasmine? What if Jasmine was dead and someone killed her? Wouldn't you want death for that person? No, I fucking wouldn't. Why wouldn't you? You wouldn't know unless you did it. You can say that as a principle, but you wouldn't know about the anger. Yes, you're right, I would be angry. And hey, maybe, just maybe, I would want that death for that person. But guess what? Then, once I calmed down, I would realise that was just pure anger speaking. I want to punch people sometimes, I don't do it. I want to fucking strangle people sometimes, I don't fucking do it. The fact of the matter is, I don't do it because I know it's wrong, and because of that, I know the death penalty is wrong. So fuck the death penalty, fuck everybody else, and suck my fucking nose! Shout it out loud. Shout out to Evan Edinger. I don't know if anyone's ever watched Evan Edinger. He is a very funny man. He's got a lot of wit. He's very comical. He does do reviews of an American living in Britain, and sometimes some of his stuff, if you're a real true down in the earth Brit, you might not like some of his things, but the majority of the time he does stuff like comparing America to Britain. in comparing this and comparing that, and he's very honest with his views. So if you want an honest YouTube show, watch Ebenezer. So there you go. Shout out. Final thoughts. Right, final thought time. Wow, this is episode 5. It's almost close to the final episode 6. Don't worry though, we're just taking 2 or 3 weeks off just to get a little bit of rest and relaxation, because I'm not being funny. Editing this every bloody Sunday is a bit of an annoyance, so I am taking a couple of weeks off just to get a little bit more rest and relaxation. I will and to record some new films for you, and then after a couple of weeks we will come back with a new season. And lots more stuff planned then. I say planned, I will make it up as I go along. But planned, yes. I am very organised. I'm a very organised person. I'm not telling a single lie. Where's the camera? My eyes keep going like that. Okay. God. Yeah, what else have we got to say? Oh, loads and loads and loads and loads. I want to just take this time to talk about something that I thought, this doesn't annoy me, but it's something I'm used to, but it's something I don't think other people think about. So I thought I'd say it. Have you ever, and I'm talking to straight people here right now, have you ever said the words, well, most of the gay people I know say this when you're discussing a gay topic? I mean, I've heard it from a lot of straight people, and I just want to address it because it's a bit of annoying. When you're a gay person or a bi person or a trans person, when you hear, or even a straight person sometimes, but when you hear that, it is like a roll your eye moment. It's kind of like, first of all, I work in a place, I'm not going to say where it is, but everybody knows, but I work in a place where there are, in a count on my hand, I reckon 6 or 7 people from the LGBT community. So the LGBT community, despite our prevalence, and which is down to sheer bloody mindedness, to be honest with you, we're a minority, we're not massive. Yes, you could say, oh, we shove it down our faces, but we don't. We do exist, and we do wish to be acknowledged to exist. And if you think about it on a worldwide scale, there's quite a lot of us. There is a hell of a lot of us. So yeah, we should be in programs like that, but in programs and TV shows. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, I'm going off on a tangent because I keep listening to the same things in my head, what people say, and it's like, ooh. Anyway. Anyway, what I'm trying to say, before I went blah, 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 as per usual, what I'm actually trying to say is, you as a person probably know 1, maybe 2 people from the LGBT community. You probably only ever talked to 1 or 2. So when you say most gay people I know, or most LGBT people I know, you're talking about 1 or 2 people. And here's the thing, they're probably close to you. They could be a family member, they could be a friend, they could be a friend of a friend. But here's the thing, the majority of them, a lot of them, we're getting better, but there's a lot of them who have probably just come out or have come out or have come out for a long time but have got into habits, and those habits are, you've got to understand, for us, but everywhere we go, everywhere we see, is always straight people, he. And we've got to live with straight people. So we kind of like say things just to please them. It's like, oh, I don't like those. I don't mind gay people. This is one of the things I hear a lot. I don't mind gay people. It's the ones that push it in your face. It's like, what does that even mean? But I interpret it a lot as the overly feminine ones, the flamboyant ones, the ones who are always, look at me, I'm gay. And, well, they don't actually say that, but that's what people think. And because I want to please gay people, I want to please straight people. And the people around me, I go, yeah, I'm not like that. And they go, no, you're not like that. You're one of the good ones. And all of a sudden I've become one of the good ones. And I have a lot of gay and trans friends now who I meet online, and they're all good people, but they're what you would consider one of the bad ones, and that's not right. They're not bad. They're just different to the stereotype that I portray. And I kind of feel like by saying I'm one of the good ones and saying, oh, I'm not like that, I'm actually betraying those people, because those people, let's face it, they're just like me. Not everybody's the same. And so when you say, oh, most trans people I talk to, they don't really think that. And a lot of them have convinced themselves they do think that because they want to be liked, and they feel they need to think that, and therefore they probably pushed it into their mind that that's what they think and that's what's true. But it's not true. I'm not one of the good ones. I'm not. Those are the ones that you don't know because you've seen on television and you are a bit worried, or in reports and you're a bit worried about. They're just like me. Okay, so they wear glitter on their face. So fucking what? Dude, I literally would love to wear glitter on my face all the time. Unfortunately, I'm an utter coward, so I don't. And that's life. One of the also things I get being bisexual is people ask me, they constantly ask me, and there's a couple of friends who do this, and it bugs the shit out of me, really. Yeah, but you're not, you're only like 20% this or 50% that, or you like women more than you do men, don't you? Blah, 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 blah. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. I'll be honest with you. I find it's easier to have. I've had more sex with men than I have women. There, I've said it. But it doesn't stop me from being majorly attracted to women. And I found it's just that it's easier to shag a man because they're kind of like ready for it. And it's true. But that doesn't stop me being bisexual. If I married someone, I'm not going to suddenly go, well, I'm with you all the time and I will never, ever look at a man or a man because you're a woman. And you think about that logically, it's like, really? I was bisexual all this time. I fancied both, and now I'm not going to fancy both because I'm now with a woman. People who think that, it's like, my God, is you've got the problem, because what you're actually doing, what you're actually saying is, I don't want to go out with someone who might go out with another member of sex because I'll feel it. That will make me feel inadequate. That I didn't manage to satisfy them at this person. But the truth is that is your problem, because to be fair, if I shagged your sister, I'm still as bad. I'm a bad arsehole, but your sister's a bitch, and it's not your fault. But if I shagged your brother, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. I'm an arsehole, your brother's a bastard, and that's it. If the inadequacy is bullshit, it's bollocks. It doesn't exist on you. So don't feel bad about yourself. You are not the problem. And when you think about bisexual people, don't think, oh my God, this could happen, that could happen, anything else could happen. Just think, this person is interested in me. Am I interested in them? And if you're interested in them, go for it. I feel that biphobia, homophobia, all of it is real problems with society. But we've got to suddenly think, are we doing this right? Are we doing this right? We've got to look into our soul. But other people are pointing out that you might not be, and then you're like, oh, they're pointing out that I'm wrong, that my life is wrong. How dare they try to change me? Oh, don't bother. Don't bother. Just try to change yourself, because you say, I don't want to change myself. Fair enough. But here's the thing. There takes nothing wrong with looking at yourself and thinking, am I wrong, or am I doing things wrong? And that change, though it's scary, though it's frightening, and though sometimes you don't want it, it could lead to making your life a lot better. It could lead to taking things away from your life which you don't like, which you've just settled for, like me settling for the fact that but my friends, I've got to tell my friends that of the people that I like are the bad ones. You don't have to be like that. No one has to be like that. Anyway, that's the end of the show. Let's do the usual things. I feel full like this. Please like. Only one or two people do, and I know who they are, but there's 40 people, so come on. I know some of you, I know at least 20 of you, 20 or 23 of you are my subscribers. And if you're a subscriber, fucking like the video. Come on. Okay, if you want to subscribe, I want more subscribers. I won't let more of them. I know I've got 40 viewers at an average. And I reckon if I subscribe to 40 subscribers, I could get more viewers as an average. So there's 20 of you who aren't subscribed. It's free. It's utterly free. You don't have to pay anything. It just means that you'll get, if you subscribe and hit the bell, you will get notifications. Notifications telling you when my show's on. You get to see it first. You lucky bastard. You get to see my show first. How cool is that? Wonderful it is. Also, leave a comment. I get one person leaving a comment, and that is a guy who doesn't even watch the show. I can prove it. Nicola Sturgeon was the best thing for Scotland. Yeah. See if he comments "fuck you" or something like that. He won't, because he doesn't watch the show. But I want people who actually watch the show to comment. Just tell me, say brilliant show, great show. You don't even have to comment on YouTube. Comment on Facebook, comment on Twitter, comment wherever you want to comment. Come on, people, let's do this. Right. Sayonara. See you, British bums.